All right, so one of the most common questions that I get asked when it comes to hiring a new setter is how much do I pay them? How much do I pay? What commission? And it's a great question, but it's usually the wrong question to ask, especially in the beginning. Um, and the reason for that is because a good setter is worth their weight in gold. Um, the issue that most people have is they don't know how to find and train and manage and retain the right setter to get them to be productive. And so the question of like, whenever I see someone asking a question, it's always like, hey, how much do I pay them? The reason why that's not the right answer to start with is because if they are good, like even if you pay them 5-10K a month, they should be producing 10 to 20 x the return, whatever you end up paying them, right? There's a reason why bigger companies have setters. So a better question, especially in the beginning, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't ask the question of like, how much do you pay them? Absolutely do want to have that question eventually. But in the beginning, when you're just looking at setters, if you're asking, hey, how much do they charge? How much do they make? It's almost asking like, hey, how expensive, how much is going to cost me? And that question implies that a setter is a cost center, not a revenue, a profit center. And to me, a good setter, again, especially if you're just starting out and about to scale, worth their weight in gold. So let's say you pay them 2-3K, which is typical. Like most people want to get into a setting and want to make, if they live in the US, this has got to be closer to 3 to 4. And if they're international, maybe 1 to 2, right? What I'm trying to say. So the better question in the beginning is not how much do they charge or how much do they make. The question in the beginning is 3 things. Number 1 is, are they coachable? Number 2 is, do they have grit? Like, do they have the drive to really crush it? And number 3 is, are they smart? If you could find somebody who is smart, driven, and coachable and want to get in sales, like I would always want to hire them, even if I don't know how much they want to make it, because I know that if I can find that person, and believe me, that's harder to find than you would think. So you can find that person, they are invaluable to the company, to your business. So it doesn't even matter to me, right? Not that I will pay them anything they want, but to me, it wouldn't matter so much in the beginning how much they want to get paid, more so than who they are. So if they find somebody who is really good, there is going to be a company that's going to be able to use them and really grow with them. And so those are the 3 kind of traits and a better question to ask when you're looking for, or if you might be interested in a setter. Now, when it comes to like, hey, how much do I pay them? If you find somebody who's good, then you can decide what they make. But also, the number is pretty standard, right? If it's international, between 1 and 2K, maybe 2,500 on a higher end. If it's US or like a first world Western countries, most people want to make at least 3 to 4K to start. And so it's not like by asking that question, you're going to be able to find the right setter, because guess what? The right setter and a really good setter should be able to make way more than that as well. And so I find that it's always not the right answer, the right question to ask, even though most people do that, and it's counterintuitive, right? Of course, you don't want to know how much it costs. But again, if a set is really good, he should be making $10,000 a month. Why? Because they are making way more for you. So that's a short video on this walk. Hopefully that's helpful. Let me know in the comment if you have any questions. Subscribe for more tips on scaling, building a high-performing appointment setter that grow your business.